All right. Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, August 29th. So yesterday's market open is still running. We had a reversal during the New York session yesterday from that hourly SAR. Today's market open is going to be a buy for this particular one on my right and also for the other one on my left. So both of them are going to be buys. Um, Yeah, so unfortunately, it just keeps coming back to, so we have a heavy support area here, but it just keeps coming back down there. And it doesn't pull through. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Um, for the SAR and EM, I still think US30 will come down. Only thing today is a Friday, so today might be a little bit of a tricky day because price can just choose to come to trend in one direction. So we'll see. So it looks like it will be for a buy here. Um, it looks like it. We are also looking at this other market open here. Give me a second. All right, yeah, so it is going to be a buy for today. Now, for this other particular one here, of course, we are looking at let's see, we do have a buy signal here. So this is the 930. Okay, so 930 buy. Then we look at what's the other one? It's um this one and this one as well. So you can see the market open here. Also this one, the market open scalp is for a buy for US30. So we'll see how this goes. Um, and this other regular one is still running. Or these ones are still running. So the ones we are focused. So for NAS, it was a buy for today, but I think this one would have hit stop loss. Yesterday was the trade. Yesterday was NAS's day, but looks like NAS today would have hit or would have gotten stop. Actually, it's still going, but it looks like it might get taken out. But US30 here, and looks like for this particular one, it ended up entering twice. Um, some reason, some of these accounts. Um, Give me a second. Let's see. Some of these accounts took the trade twice. Oh, yeah, that was on me. Um, for this one, it's still going. Right. I kind of messed up one of them there, but it's fine. Um, and account history. All right, so the US31 market open would have been out there. I know here there's a 30. Let's see. Give me some 9:30 a.m. only. Hmm. Oh, wait. All right. So if we get a dip here for the EMA rejection scalp, I would be looking to take it at this 30-minute EMA one. This one would be a 30. Yeah, this one would be for the 30-minute. So again, yesterday's market open is still running. Today's is still running as well. So today's is at around break even-ish. So both of the ones for today are buys. Both of the ones for yesterday were sells. So I think it's going to be one of those instances where one loses and the other one wins. Um, so that's just going to result in like an 1 hour gain because we are risking 1:2 risk to reward. So if one wins, then that's 1:2. If the other one loses, that's 1:1. So maybe going forward, 75 pip stop loss, 200 points, no, 75 pip stop loss or 75 point stop loss and 150 point TP might be a way to go. But anyway, so for today as well, this market open scalps. For US30 would have gotten stopped out, for NAS would have gotten stopped out. But yesterday for NAS, it did have a lot of gains. I think there was only one loss yesterday for NAS, but we'll see. But this week definitely US30 hasn't been the one for the market open scalp. So we'll see what other scalp shows up here for the market open. So this one for US30, the market open scalp just came, got taken out right here, and price went all the way back up. The other thing I've noticed again for this market open scalps, and like yesterday when I was talking about, or I've been talking about, possibly going for, give me a second here, possibly going, so there's this possible, the next one. So remember the market open scalp has like you can take different models, right? So you can take each and every trade that comes up between 9:30 a.m. to 10:59 a.m. But right now, even this sell would be a little tricky. Um, because of course, price is in a big uptrend. So this one I wouldn't even take that. The sell I'd be looking for here is possibly this one right here, which is a SAR rejection scalp. So this one right here, which is at the hourly, which is at the hourly, excuse me, which is at the hourly buy. So we have a possible SAR rejection scalp all the way up here. And given that it's Friday, we might also be pushing to the all-time high as well. See, if this one would have survived, probably not. Looks like it might have survived for that one. Because for a 1:2, but it also depends on slippage. Like some of these ones, when price gets a little too close, it might also depend on slippage. So maybe this one would have survived, but it's a little tricky to see. We do have price coming back to this 30-minute EMA. So we tested the 15-minute EMA one. I don't think we've tested the 30. Yeah, we haven't tested the 30-minute EMA. So the 30-minute EMA is the most optimal EMA here to take. 507, this would be 497, somewhere there. Five oh four to 505, so 95. Somewhere there would be the 10-point threshold entry. So this would be for an EMA rejection scalp, and this would be for the 30-minute EMA rejection scalp. And then this one would be the Model 1 entry. I don't know if we're going to get all the way there. All right, so the 10-point entry would be there. And of course, there's quite a big push down on US30. And then we would be waiting for the official trade would be the 1:1 risk to reward would be, which would be the change of structure. So if you see the green X, that would be the official trade setup or trade entry with a 1:1 risk to reward. But we're having a big push to the downside here. So we'll see. All right, so it would be possibly if we close with that green X on the next candle. Okay, so they are at the same entry point. So there it goes. And they're pretty much at the same entry area. Let's see if we can keep pushing up here. All right, so full TP on the Model 3. Is it Model 3 or Model 3 entry, which is the 1:1 risk to reward, which is what we use to track our official trades. So full TP on that one. My Model 1 is still running in profit. So here for the stats, this would be a 0.75 gain. So we haven't had a live session in a while. So last week, nothing. We haven't taken any official trades this week. Yes. Then no official trades the whole of this week. And then, oh, not minus. We have a 0.75% gain. So for the month, So let's see. Today is the last trading day of the month. So this month might be our first losing month in a while. So we might be down like minus 1.5% for the. So currently we are down minus 1.5% for the month. But we'll see. Yeah, but I don't see because we would have to take two back-to-back winning trades to even get out of the minus 1.5%. But anyway, you're not gonna win every month, and that's totally fine. So I'll just take a screen grab of this for my journal. So 45,494, 45,494 right here. This was an EMA rejection scalp for the 30-minute EMA. Mm. Okay. Never mind. Um, Save this. All right, let's keep going and see what else is there. And this market opens from yesterday and today are running concurrently. So today's, of course, is in drawdown, and yesterday's is running in profit. So again, it just might be most likely because the take profit and stop losses for both of them are so equidistant. So most likely one of them is going to win and the other one is going to lose, and that will be just like a 1 hour gain because we're doing a 1:2 risk to reward for both. See. I don't see any other EMA or SA. We have a 15-minute SAR down here that hasn't been tested. So this is another area to look for a possible buy on US30. 58. So this is 448 right there. So if price does get here, that's another possible area to look for a buy on US30. All right. We have a NAS entry one here, and we can follow it. Okay, so the 15-minute SAR has come a little bit above here. So it's come to 475. So this is 465.7. So somewhere there. We'll see. All right, so let's see. All right, the 10-point entry would be there. So that's the threshold entry. So the 10-point threshold entry. And then, of course, we wait for the other one, which is, and I think US30 might actually flush from here, but we are waiting for the change of structure. So we are waiting for model 3. And let's see if we'll get another entry here. And the one we are trading is, okay, so the one that's down there is a 30-minute. Give me a second. 454.4, 444.4. Add alert here. Okay, so you see the way it flashed there. So we're still waiting on, still waiting on, still waiting on the structure change or the structure entry. So we just need a green X. And then we can enter that. And I think, okay. So, all right. So the market opened, both of them. One is about to hit TP. The other one, of course, got stopped out. So we are still waiting on the change of, yeah. Still waiting on change of character here. We also do have a bullish structure area here. So this might be some area on US30 to possibly, and this is similar to an area we were looking at yesterday that US30 can adjust from 390, let me see, 396, 386.9, something I'm trying to see. Anyway, we're still waiting on the Model 3 entry. And you can see that bullish structure there. So this is an area of potential reversal for US30. Let's see. All right, so NAS as well, pushed up and then came all the way back down. All right, so it might be this candle. If we close with that green X, so we didn't close with the green X. So let it keep going down. Not yet. It might be this one. Nope. So probably the next one. Okay, so there it is. So let's see if we can push back here. So I like the wicks at the bottom. So this is our second official trade. So we're already up 0.75% for the day. And let's see if price can hold here and push to TP. If not, if it loses, we'll just be at break even for the day, which is fine. But this is a nice reversal area for US30. And I'm hoping we should be able to get to the take profit level here. All right, there we go. A nice push there. Man, this slippage with some of these prop firms. I'm almost out of the trade. All right, I'm out of the trade. Just some slippage there, but nice push there for a nice 0.75% gain. So today we're up 1.5% for the day. So, looks like we might just end the month out at, unless we get another trade, which turns out to be a winning trade, we might end the month at minus 0.75, which is good. It's better than the minus 1.5 that we had. So that's chill enough right there. So here, what I was looking for is we do um and also, right, yesterday's market open hit full TP. Today's market open was topped out. So between the two, up 1 hour for the day. Um, and let me take the screen grab for this one was 45,380. But if US30 is going to reverse, this is the area to reverse at. Because if you remember, since like yesterday, I was expecting US30 to get to this 4 hour bullish order block here, which is where we just got to and will probably reverse from. But if we break that order block, it's a free fall for US30. 45,380. So 45,380 here. So this is that trade we just took. And it's an SAR rejection scalp. Right there. Okay. Um, so let's see. Let's see if we get something here with the, and it's still kind of early. So let's see if we get something here. All right. So again, right, you can see how that area, that 4 hour bullish order block, how it's holding, right? Um, so let's see what else there is. I really don't see anything else really unless we get unless we get, let's see, this one would have been 85, 12, 40, 25. So there. Unless something comes up here with this market open entry. So today's market open entries for NAS, both of them were losers because the market open for NAS was a buy, but you can see price went straight to stop loss. The second one was as well was a buy. It did look like a good buy, went pretty much what 30 points. Yeah, so above about 30 points. So it was 10 points shy away of take profit, but again, came back down due to that bearish momentum and lost. For US30, the market open was a buy, but unfortunately, price went to like a 1:1 risk to reward and then came back and hit break even and also went out at stop loss. The second one was a win. So the second one was a sell. And price, that's one of the areas that price retraced heavily down from. So for US30, it would have been one net win. For NAS, it would have been two net losses. And then, of course, there are we took an EMA rejection scalp and SAR rejection scalp. So for the Model 3, that ended up being two wins. And also the market opened for yesterday. Both of them hit full TP for a 1:2R. But unfortunately, today's market open was for a buy. But again, that one reversed and hit stop loss. So net 1 hour for the market open entries. So currently, what time is it? It's about 10:22. So unless we get another market open entry here, unless we get another market open entry here, I really don't see much. So yesterday, NAS was the instrument of the day because yesterday NAS I think had 3 wins, 1 loss. So yesterday NAS would have been up like net 2 wins. Today US30 market open was for a buy. Um, Lost and then price came back and went to the direction of the buying. But then we did have a sell entry here, and then the sell entry would have hit take profit. The only thing I would be cautious of for market open entries is the size of the market open candle. So if today we compared the market open candle for US30 and NAS, so the market open candle for NAS was only 3 points, right? But for US30, it was about 27 points, about 30 points, right? So typically what I've noticed is especially the 9:30 a.m. signals, because you're entering at a point or at a time when market volatility is so high, there's a lot of slippage, there's a lot of spread in the market. Um, Sometimes, not every time, when you have a huge 9:30 a.m. candle, 15-second candle, price will come back to fill the gap. So it will create a fair value gap, or what's called what some people refer to as a fair value gap. And then it will come and close that fair value gap and then retrace back in the direction of that market open entry, which is typically what happened today, because you can see here, the gap was between, where's the gap? So the gap is at here and here, right? So you can see, and it was the distance of our stop loss. So the gap was typically there. But anyway, this strategy just calls for one trade a day. So the best you can do is maybe to adjust your stop loss to maybe 25 points. I had considered that, but even for today, a 25-point stop loss would have gotten taken out. If you start going a little higher than 25 points, it starts becoming less of a scalp. But for me, I'll just stick to the 20-point stop loss. Again, back testing, the win rate is over time, the win rate is much higher, but it's just that you have to be aware of, especially the 9:30 a.m. For the ones that come after 9:30 a.m., you should be fine. But the 9:30 a.m., since there's a lot of slippage and spread during market open, you can get taken out. But just we can start looking out for the size of the candle. But for me, like I'll just be taking, that entry there. So right now, the only thing that may come up is, and again, right, US30 has completed that buy from, I'm sorry, that sell side momentum from yesterday that we saw during market open. And we know that it's sitting on this 4 hour bullish order block. But if US30 flashes from there, the next area for US30 to stop at might be 45,125. That's the next bullish structure area. So if we flash from here, uh, these two areas right here might be the next regions for US30 to stop at. So if we do this, then we kind of look at the 1 hour time frame. So here's where we took that one of the wins for today at this 15-minute SAR. The next one is, or the next area for US30 to possibly stop at is is here. So the intersection of these two wicks, which is what we used to call or used to call the bullish structure, right? So you just look for a wick and then you look for the next wick that's intersecting. So you only want to look at two instances of such. So if an area has been tested more than twice, then it really does not have too much holding power. But if it's been tested only twice, then the third time, most likely you'll have some reaction or rejection from that area. Let's see. Yeah, so you'll have a rejection from that area. So the next area for US30 to reject from is 45,135. And yeah, so at that area 45,135, I would give it a 10-point threshold. So I would wait for it to come down 10 points past that. So I would wait for it to come down to 45,125. And then you'd ideally enter the same way we enter Model 1 and Model 3. Yeah, but for today, for today, I don't see anything much. So today we had two back-to-back wins. So one was based off of an EMA rejection scalp, and the other one was based off of an SAR rejection scalp. So unless we get something else here, and of course, still tracking this market open signals. Today, the NAS ones would have both lost. US30, one of them, the market open one would have lost. The second one would have won. But in regards to the SAR and EMA rejection scalps, for let's see. No, I went to the 15-second time frame. For the SAR rejection scalps, we've already tested all of the SARs that are next to where price is at. So unless US30 keeps dipping and gives us another SAR below here, we don't have any other SAR that's untested. For the EMA rejection scalps, all EMAs have been tested based off of where price is at. The one that hasn't been tested is this 15-minute EMA 2, which is all the way up here. So unless price pushes up heavily, which I think it might, if we look at all these weeks to the bottom here, it does show a reversal pattern on US30. Uh, So unless we push up, and I think we formed another entry. Okay, so for NAS as well, for NAS and US30, we formed a market open. Uh, signals here. So we'll just keep tracking this ones. But for US30, I would be cautious of taking any sells for US30 here. We do have a lot of buy side potential here because we already know that we are lying on a 4-hour bullish order block. So I wouldn't be looking to take any sells yet for US30. We do have a lot of buy side momentum here. But just tracking this market open signals here for US30 and NAS, we'll see how any of them go. But I wouldn't recommend taking any sells yet for US30. And I was looking at EMAs. We do have an hourly EMA2 here that hasn't been tested. So possibly getting back down here to this hourly EMA2. But we do have heavy buy side currently on US30. And we can keep again, we can track this and see how they'll end up. But the NAS one, let's see. The NAS one looks like it would be stopped out. And I don't think actually even for this market open ones, I don't think it's a good idea. And now to even think of it even deeper, I don't think it would be a good idea trading them on Friday. But we'll see. We'll keep forward testing them, but I don't think it's a good idea to trade the market open scalps on Fridays. But we'll keep track of it and see how the Friday performance is. Yeah, but now that I think of it, because again as well for this market open ones, one thing you do not want is consolidation. That's the first thing you do not want. You do not want consolidation in the market. Because you might get a buy signal and then you might end up getting like a sell signal in and around the same price, right? So here, and one of those or one of these days, we'll see an example of that. So we can easily get, so currently here, the one that's running is a sell side signal. So we might end up getting a buy side signal when the sell entry still hasn't hit TP, if that makes sense. So you don't want to trade in areas of consolidation. Also, you don't want to trade during heavy manipulation days. Friday, I consider it a heavy manipulation day, but I'll collect some statistics for the market open entry for maybe over the next month or so and see how that would go. For today, let me see, give me a second. 30-minute EMA 2. I wouldn't take, yeah, so this one wouldn't even count. All right, so for US30, today would be, if you're taking, so today for US30, if you're only taking the 9:30 a.m. signal, of course, that one would have lost. If you're taking the signal after 9:30 a.m., you would have been up for the day. And again, for this market open entry, I recommend only taking one trade a day. So you pick your one trade a day. So you pick, are you going to take the 9:30 a.m.? If you're going to take the 9:30 a.m. only, if you take it, if you lose, if you win, you close that account out. And then the other option is you take a signal that's after 9:30 a.m. So today, if you only took the signal that's after 9:30 a.m., so not including the 9:30 a.m., you would have won, and then you'd have closed that account. The third option is to take the first signal that shows up after market open. So it can be a 9:30 a.m. There are days when we are not going to get a 9:30 a.m. signal. Like this week, I think we've only gotten a 9:30 a.m. signal on 2 days. So today and I think the day before yesterday. The day before yesterday, the 9:30 a.m. signal won. But today it lost. But today, the third option was to take the first signal, whether it's a 9:30 a.m. or not. So today, of course, the first signal would have been the 9:30 a.m. Would have lost. Then the third option, again, the third option, no, actually, the fourth option is to take every signal between 9:30 a.m. to 10:59 a.m. Eastern time. So today for US30, every signal the first one would have been a loss, the second one would have been a win. So, and again, you're going for a 1:2 risk to reward. So you'd have been up, here you'd have been up net one trade. And then, of course, here, the one that we just got here for a sell would have lost. So today would have been a break-even day if you would have been going back and forth and taking every single trade here. We'll see if another one comes in or comes up before 10:59. But right here, I'm just like marking them up and just taking statistics for them. But these are the signals that we talked about. Would have had a variation of a 94% win rate, 55% win rate, and 66% win rate between January and August of last week. So close of last week. For this ones, if you're only taking one trade a day, I recommend using 1% risk per trade. So for example, if you're only taking the 9:30 a.m., do 1% because you're only taking just 1% per trade. I'm sorry, you're only taking one trade a day. So do 1% per trade. The most back-to-back losing streak I've seen when we backtested this since January to August was a 5-day losing streak. So that's the most I've seen. But again, you're going for a 1:2 risk to reward. So the days that you win, you should be able to, like on a day that you win, if you've had like a five back-to-back losing streak, you should be able to get two of your losses back. But eventually, like the graph for it. Again, the graph for it is just is a continuous growth curve, but only if you're taking one trade a day. I don't have statistics for taking every single trade between 9:30 a.m. to 10:59 a.m. Um, I'm not sure what the statistics for that would look like. So for that one, it's just something I'll have to collect going forward. And for this particular one, it doesn't, you don't have to, you don't worry about the zones, you don't worry about the order blocks. You can kind of look at it like today for this particular cell here. I would not have taken it because I know that we do have this 4 hour bullish high and low order block, and we also have this this big wicks from the bottom here. So in any case, I think US30, right, will still push up here. And also we are still close, pretty close to the all-time high. But US30, you can see yesterday's market open came pretty much almost to take profit. We had a big reversal. And then overnight, we came back and we finally hit TP here. Today's market open, the intraday market open setup was for a buy. But again, that one got stopped out. But between the two, you'd have been up net positive because as well for this intraday market open entry, we are going for a 1:2 risk to reward, going for 100 point stop loss, 200 points TP. So for this one, for this particular setup as well, would have been a net win between the two setups. So for this week's market open, let's see. So for this week's market open entries, let's see. So Friday, Monday was a losing day, so minus one. Tuesday was a winning day, +2, so you'd have been up 1 hour. Then Wednesday was a losing day. You'd have been at break even. Then yesterday would have ended up a 2 hour day, but and then -1 hour today. So for the week would have been up 1 hour for the regular intraday market open entries. And then for this others, I would have to look into my journal. For this market open rejection scalps, I would have to look at my journal. But I think if I'm not wrong, for the 9:30 a.m. only entry, there's only two that have shown up this week. One of them was a winner and the other one was a loser, which is this one. So I think for that one, you'd have been up 1 hour. I need to look at the statistics for this others. Yeah, but given that it's a Friday, I really don't see anything else here. That should be it for today. I will see you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of your day and weekend. All right, guys.